Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. We're going to do our daily technical analysis of gold and silver. We're going to look at the dollar, 10-year yield, the price of gold and silver, some ETFs and some individual companies to get a good gauge on what's going on. Keep in mind about buying pressure. I did some technical analysis trainings over the weekend, and what we're looking for is pressures. Big up candlesticks, small down candlesticks. It means that there's an imbalance between the buyers and sellers. It means if you're getting big sell-off days, that the sellers are in control and that the stock is being sold off. Big up days, big buying pressure. Means that we're probably going to keep continuing to go higher. So let's look at the charts, keep that in mind. And again, just use this for financial education, and it's just my financial opinion. Do not use it as advice. Let's jump in, and I'll give you my opinion on gold and silver, technical analysis. So I'm going to start with the dollar and gold. And we're just looking for if this relationship is strong and if it's continuing. And it is loosely, basically a sideways dollar. And you can see that when the dollar strengthened, gold weakened. So this correlation between dollar strength and weakening gold has been maintaining. So what we want to do is we want to look at the dollar. And the dollar, if you draw it from this guy here, broke to the downside, and we're coming back up a little bit. I still think that we're going to head lower at some point and see a dive in the dollar because of inflation. Inflation is a weakening of the dollar, and because we've got an expansion phase of real estate, and every time we've had that expansion phase of real estate, we've had a weaker dollar index. Looking at the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield, higher yields usually at some point trigger a weakening S&P 500 or stocks, and bonds will go down, which means that money is going to rotate into the sectors that we are in and want to rotate. So here's the downtrend line. We've broken that to the upside for yields. And obviously in the short term, we may head down a little bit, but I think overall we'll head higher with yields. Here's gold, the continuous contract for gold. We broke the downtrend line, but we came back below it. This thing is a very large tease because we've been breaking up and down, at least this short-term downtrend line, going up and down all about it. But still, it doesn't look horrible. I remain neutral. Looking at silver, silver looks a lot better. We've got two big buying pressure days, and then the sell-offs were small down days. This looks excellent to move higher at any point. We just need the buyers to step in and roll this, and it looks like they're in control at the moment, looking at those last four candlesticks. Platinum looks like we got a little bit of a sell-off today, may head a little bit lower, but remember, we get a downtrend line, we break it, and then we pull back to do a retest, and then we head on higher. We may have one last buying opportunity before this thing heads higher. And then we got copper. Copper, the momentum's shifting a little bit. We threw a wick at the top. There's a little wick here, a little wick here, kind of a flat day. This could head a little bit lower and do more of like a retest, kind of coming back a little bit. We've got GDX. GDX looks good to me. Downtrend line break to the upside, small sell-off. Everything looks intact. It looks good to go higher. And that's what we want to see, a big buying pressure days and then the small little sell-off. That's good. And we're seeing it with GDXJ as well. We could come back a little bit more, but this is called a big move higher and then a small little leak off of sellers, and that looks good for a continuation higher over time. This could have a little bit more downside in it, but we'll see. And we're seeing that across the entire sector. SILJ's exhibiting that same trait. This could come back a little bit more before moving up. And here's Endeavor Silver. I put a trend line through here, 1, 2, 3 contact points, 2 down here. Maybe we're trying to break through this little resistance line. Newmont looks really good. Downtrend break to the upside, small little sell-off, big buying pressure, small selling pressure. This is Franco-Nevada, and what I did here is I noticed that this pattern here is the same pattern as SM Energy. SM Energy came up, created this same exact pattern, and right here is right here. And we went in SM Energy, we went a lot higher after that. I think we're going to see this move on higher. Just looking at pattern recognition, and this one's got it's the same pattern as Franco-Nevada. It's just mutated. It's all mutated. So this one looks good too. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure. I think we're going to move higher soon. Metalla Royalty, I know some people in the comment section were talking, what about Metalla? Here's Metalla, downtrend break. We got a little bit of a selling pressure, but we got nice big bullish engulfing. Battle between the buyers and sellers is happening right here, but I think it's going to resolve itself probably upward. Teuton Resources, one of my favorite little royalty companies, downtrend break, and we could come back and do a little bit of a retest down in here. If that happens, I'll buy more. EMX Royalty, again, this one's downtrend break. It's just sitting above its downtrend line. Doesn't look bad at all. Same with Metallic Minerals, downtrend break. This is a small silver exploration company, and I think we'll resolve higher because the price of silver looks good too. And we're seeing that on all these. Aftermath Silver, breakout, backtest, and now we're probably going to try to move on higher. And then we got Koya Silver, downtrend line. We broke it, and then we're backtesting or retesting right now. And Discovery Silver, breaking the downtrend, probably going to come back and then move on higher. So that's what I have for today. I think the overall sector actually looks really good. We broke the downtrend lines. That's the big important thing. The big moves usually come soon after this. So I'm waiting. I'm watching gold and silver. I'm watching these companies. I'm expecting a move up. I've already cost averaged in a little bit, not just this second, but before on some of the companies. I'm expecting higher prices. Doesn't mean that's going to happen tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to happen this week. If we see lower prices, I want to see small down days, small little controlled sell-offs where it's a leak off of the sellers, and then I want to see the buyer step in and hit that throttle. I want them to throttle this baby and get the big updates, big bullish white candlesticks signaling that we open and build steam throughout the day and close strong. It's not about how you open, it's about how you close. Think about that. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.